We're continuing our OHL history series as we go season by season to go through the order of events that led to the OHL being what it is today, and to fill some time during the offseason before we get ready for the 2025-26 season to start in September. So today, we're going to talk about the 2008-2009 season. Now, there were no relocations, but we would see another historic arena move over for a brand new facility, and that would be in Windsor, as the Windsor Arena, its historic run comes to an end, and it's replaced by the WFCU Center. The new arena for the Windsor Spitfires, kind of like a palace compared to what they used to play in, although I'll admit I've never got a chance to see a game at the Windsor Arena. I've heard so many stories about the fans and the noise, the atmosphere. I truly feel like I've missed out. At this time, I was actually starting a job in Kitchener at a radio station, so I spent 3 seasons covering the Rangers in various capacities, and this was the season that that ball started rolling. So anyways, let's dive into the season and how it all worked out, starting off with the standings. In the West Division, the Windsor Spitfires, they had a year. They would finish top spot in the division. 57-10, 0-1 was their record, 115 points, nearly the 60 win mark. Second in the division would be the Saginaw Spirit, 36-24, 4-4 for 80 points. The Plymouth Whalers, third with a record of 37-26-5 for 79 points. While the Sarnia Sting, fourth with a record of 35-26, 4-3 for 77 points. And the Sioux Greyhounds, fifth, and would miss the playoffs with a record of 19-45, 2-2 for 42 points. In the Midwest Division, the London Knights, they would end up back on top with a record of 49-16, 1-2 for 101 points. The Guelph Storm, second with a record of 35-26, 4-3 for 77 points. The Erie Otters, they were third with a record of 34-29, 3-2 for 73 points. The Owen Sound Attack, fourth with a record of 26-27, 7-8 for 67 points. And the Kitchener Rangers, after going all in the 2007-08 season, they would end up at the bottom of the division with a record of 26-37, 3-2, 57 points, and would miss the postseason. In the Central Division, the Brampton Battalion find themselves back on top with a record of 47-19, 1-1, 96 points. The Mississauga St. Michael's Majors, second, 39-26, 1-2 is their record for 81 points. The Barrie Colts, third with a record of 30-33, 3-2 for 65 points. The Niagara Ice Dogs, fourth with a record of 26-32, 4-6, 62 points. And the Sudbury Wolves, fifth in the division with a record of 26-35, 2-6 for 59 points. In the East Division, the Belleville Bulls, once again, top spot, record of 47-17, 2-2, 98 points. The Ottawa 67s would finish second with a record of 40-21, 5-2, 87 points. The Peterborough Petes, third with a record of 28-37, 1-2, 59 points. While the Oshawa Generals, fourth in the division, but they would miss the playoffs. The record of 25-35, 2-6, 58 points. And the Kingston Frontenacs, again, missing the playoffs with a record of 18-46-4 for 46 points. Now, at the beginning of the regular season, Brian Kilray announced that this would be his last season as head coach of the Ottawa 67s. He left before in the past, but this time he would make it official, but he would remain as the general manager of the Ottawa 67s for a few more years after this. Now, there was a blockbuster trade this year involving the Oshawa Generals. As we saw there in the standings, they missed the playoffs. It was a rebuild season, so they ended up trading John Tavares to the London Knights along with Michael Del Zotto. A huge trade there. Of course, a lot of pieces coming back to Oshawa, which would help in their retool to get back into contention. But still, seeing Tavares, who was granted, of course, exceptional status as a 15-year-old, played an extra season, and he ended up finishing his career as a member of the London Knights. Now, following the regular season, there was also a change of ownership structure with the Generals. Rocco Tullio, he would take over from John Davies. He would take his shares over the team. So a bit of a structural change both on and off the ice with the Oshawa Generals in the 2008-2009 season. Now, looking at your scoring leaders for this season, top was John Tavares, splitting time, of course, between Oshawa and London. 58 goals, 46 assists, 104 points. Second in scoring would be Chris Terry from the Plymouth Whalers, 39 goals, 55 assists, 94 points. Justin DiBenedetto from the Sarnia Sting, third in scoring, 45 goals, 48 assists, 93 points. Cody Hodgson of the Brampton Battalion, fourth in scoring, 43 goals, 49 assists, 92 points. Matt Karyev would split time between the Sioux and Plymouth. He had 34 goals, 58 assists, 92 points. Taylor Hall, the Windsor Spitfires, 38 goals, 52 assists, 90 points. Ryan Ellis, also the Windsor Spitfires, 22 goals, 67 assists, 89 points. Eighth in scoring would be Eric Tangradi of the Belleville Bulls, 38 goals, 50 assists, 88 points. Ninth in scoring, Logan Couture of the Ottawa 67s, 39 goals, 48 assists, 87 points. And rounding out the top 10 in scoring would be Chris McKinnon, who split time between London and Kitchener, 26 goals, 59 assists, 85 points. Now, looking at the playoff bracket, the Windsor Spitfires in the opening round would take on the Owen Sound Attack, and they'd have no issues winning that series in 4 straight. Well, the London Knights, they needed 5 games to take care of the Erie Otters in the first round. The Saginaw Spirit, they would sweep the Guelph Storm to advance to the second round of the playoffs, while the Plymouth Whalers needing 5 games to take care of the Sarnia Sting. In the Eastern Conference, the Belleville Bulls, they would eliminate the Sudbury Wolves in 6 games, while the Brampton Battalion complete the series sweep of the Peterborough Petes, while the Niagara Ice Dogs, with the upset in the opening round against the Ottawa 67s, winning that series in 7 games. That one was a battle, as Niagara, just a determined bunch in that opening round. And also the Mississauga St. Michael's Majors, they would return to the playoffs and eliminate the Barrie Colts in 5 games. In the second round, Windsor versus Plymouth, a great rivalry, and it would be the Spitfires ending up on top in 6 games, while the London Knights completing the series sweep of the Saginaw Spirit. In the Eastern Conference, the Belleville Bulls, having no issues with Niagara, they would win that series in 5 games, while the Brampton Battalion and Mississauga Majors, that series would go 6 games. It would be the Troops who would end up on top. In the conference final in the West, the Windsor Spitfires and London Knights, Windsor getting the edge. They would win this series in 5 games, while in the Eastern Conference, the Belleville Bulls, they would fall to the Brampton Battalion in 6 games. So for the Battalion, their first trip to an OHL final, and they would have to face the red-hot Windsor Spitfires. And for the J. Ross Robertson Cup, it would be the Spitfires who would win their first championship since 1988, as they would defeat the Brampton Battalion in 5 games. Now, going into the Memorial Cup, the tournament would be held in Rimouski, Quebec, so the Oceanic were the home team. And the Spitfires, joined by the QMJHL champion Drummondville Voltigeurs, while the Kelowna Rockets were there from the Western Hockey League. Now, for Windsor, the round robin didn't go all that well. They had a 1-2 record, but then had to play the Rimouski Oceanic in the tiebreaker, and things seemed to change once they got to these elimination games, where the Spitfires defeating Rimouski 6-4. So in the semifinal, they would go up against the Drummondville Voltigeurs, and they needed overtime for this one, and they would win 3-2, and they would become just the second team since 1983 to make it to the Memorial Cup final after starting the tournament 0-2. So like I said, this team didn't have a great start in the Memorial Cup, but once they figure out how to win, the wins just kept coming. And in the final, they would face the Kelowna Rockets and would win the game 4-1, becoming the first team in CHL history to win the Memorial Cup after starting the tournament 0-2. And they were also the first team to win the championship coming out of the tiebreaker. So a very historic season. It was also an emotional one, as Mickey Renaud's jersey was brought out onto the ice when they won the Memorial Cup. So you could tell that a lot of these players wanting to win it for their captain, who of course passed away tragically due to a heart condition in the 07-08 season. So you could just tell there's a lot of emotions with this team. They were very determined and really setting the standard going forward as the Windsor Spitfires, with players like Taylor Hall, Ryan Ellis, Adam Henrique, they were a force to reckon with in the Ontario Hockey League, and we're not done talking about them in this season-by-season series. Now, looking at your award winners for this year, starting off with the Red Tilson Trophy, Cody Hodgson of the Brampton Battalion would be your winner, while John Tavares won the Eddie Powers Memorial Trophy. Bob Bugner of the Windsor Spitfires won the Matt Layden Trophy, while the Jim Mahon Memorial Trophy would go to Justin DiBendetto of the Sarnia Sting. Ryan Ellis won the Max Kaminsky Trophy, also from Windsor. OHL Goaltender of the Year, second year in a row, it would be Mike Murphy of the Belleville Bulls. Well, the Dave Pinkney Trophy would go to Mike Murphy as well of the Bulls. Warren Reichel named OHL Executive of the Year. The M's Family Award, Evgeny Graichev of the Brampton Battalion. So he was your Rookie of the Year. Well, the Leo Lalonde Memorial Trophy, Justin DiBenedetto of the Sarnia Sting. We're seeing a lot of players winning multiple trophies in the 08-09 season. Well, Matt Duchesne of the Brampton Battalion, he won the Bobby Smith Trophy. Freddie Hamilton of the Niagara Ice Dogs won the Ivan Tennant Memorial Award. And the newly named Mickey Renaud Captain's Trophy would go to Chris Terry of the Plymouth Whalers, while the Wayne Gretzky 99 Award, Taylor Hall of the Windsor Spitfires. He was your playoff MVP. So it was a fantastic run by the Windsor Spitfires, and not done yet, as we're going to be talking about them again in an upcoming video here on this OHL History series. So again, thank you very much for all your support. If there's a memory that stands out to you from this season, you can comment down below. And if you haven't seen any of the other history videos, you can always check out the OHL History playlist on the channel. So don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.